Respiratory system. The respiratory is the network of organs and tissues that help you breathe. But, what are the components of the respiratory system? Respiratory system components. Nose, mouth, throat, voice box, larynx, windowpipe, trachea, airways, lungs. Nose, it filters the air from impurities and germs, and warms and moisturizes it. Mouth, also called oral cavity or buccal cavity, in human anatomy, orifice through which food and air enter the body. The mouth opens to the outside at the lips and empties into the throat at the rear. Its boundaries are defined by the lips, cheeks, hard and soft palates, and glottis. It is divided into two sections, the vestibule, the area between the cheeks and the teeth, and the oral cavity proper, pharynx, throat. Muscular passage from nasal cavity to larynx. 3 regions of the pharynx, 1 nasopharynx superior region behind nasal cavity, 2 oropharynx, middle region behind mouth, 3 laryngopharynx, inferior region attached to larynx. The oropharynx and laryngopharynx are common passageways for air and food. Larynx. Anatomical structure. The larynx is formed by a cartilaginous skeleton, which is held together by ligaments and membranes. The internal cavity of the larynx can be divided into 3 sections: supraglottis, glottis, subglottis. In the process of swallowing, the larynx plays an important role in the direction of food into the esophagus. The larynx serves to protect the lower airways, facilitates respiration, and plays a key role in phonation. Sounds are produced in the larynx by the movement of air through the larynx and by the vocal folds. Trachea, flexible and mobile tube extending from the larynx into the mediastinum middle. Composed of 3 layers: mucosa, made up of goblet cells and ciliated epithelium; submucosa, connective tissue deep to the mucosa adventitia, outermost layer made of C-shaped rings of hyaline cartilage. Function: the trachea is one part of the respiratory tree, that is a conduit for air to pass through on its way to or from the alveoli of the lungs. This transmits oxygen to the body and removes carbon dioxide. Airways, bronchi. The bronchi are the airways that lead from the trachea into the lungs and then branch off into progressively smaller structures until they reach the alveoli, the tiny sacs that allow for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the lungs. Lungs. It takes air from high-pressure areas, atmosphere, to low-pressure areas, inside the lung, by a process called inspiration. Gases are exchanged between the alveoli and the blood. The blood exits carbon dioxide and alveoli supply the blood with oxygen needed for cellular activities. The blood continues its journey through the